Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Let's Talk, where we talk about Warhammer 40k. We're still talking about Tyranids. I'm more than halfway done with my review of the entire codex, every unit, every detachment. I put out the Grotsmith's detachment already, so go ahead and check that out. um, we're talking about lictors right now. And one of the important things to know is one of the more recent changes, like maybe 6 months ago, this is the end of 2024. Things that have zero CP can no longer take objectives. They can no longer perform actions. My bad. They can no longer perform actions. So that really removed Ripper Swarms from doing that for us. And I really feel that Lictors are a good replacement. In September or October, they came down in points, and I think right now they're at 55 points. And I think you get a lot from a Lictor for 55 points. I like them. I've got two in my standard tournament list. I don't have any plans on playing anything higher than Rogue Trader because I just don't want to interact with toxic people. I know that the tournament scene is filled with all sorts of good people, but like if I meet nine good people and one toxic person, that's still too much for me. So I probably will never play at the GT level. Anyways, let's talk about the Lictor. Movement 8, really good, really good. And because he's infantry, he's moving through terrain and buildings and stuff like that, so that's important to remember. Tough 6, I feel, is pretty good. I mean, that's like in the Terminator range. So Tough 6, I feel that that's pretty good. 4 plus save, trash. There's other ways to keep him alive, so just keep that in mind. He's not there for the save. 6 wounds, I feel like is pretty decent. Leadership 7, not overly great, but at the same time, there's lots of ways to put him in Synapse and keep him in Synapse. It's not bad. It's not bad. And OC1. So he can take an objective. He can do the jobs. In my opinion, he's there to do the jobs, but he's no weak boy. So, let's talk about the melee weapons. So he's got no shoot. Keep that in mind. um, Lictor Claws and Talons, precision. Okay, so he can pick a leader out of a squad, and maybe you charge him in there just for that reason because you're trying to remove the leader from the squad. 55 points to remove a very important leader from a squad might be worth it, and you might take some of the other guys in the unit out with him. 6 attacks, that's pretty good. Weapon skill 2, it doesn't get any better than that. Strength 7. Okay, so now remember when Synapse changed, anything within Synapse now gets a +1 to Strength. So if you had a Neurolictor, you could tag him with a Neuraloid from 18 inches away and put him in Synapse to give him Strength 8, which Strength 8 is an important threshold because it will double Tough 4. So that means you would have to roll 2s to wound on a Tough 4 unit, which is Space Marines. AP2, that is good. Actually, AP2 is better. So AP1 is good, AP2 is better, AP3 or higher is best, and 2 damage. So with AP2, you're most likely going to get through, and with 2 damage, you're going to kill. That's killing an average Space Marine right there. So he's got a lot of good things about him right there. And he just keeps on going. He keeps on going. Okay, so stealth. So we're over in the abilities now. Stealth, which means is harder to hit him. Everyone gets a -1 to hit him. Lone operative means if you're 12 inches away or more, you can't even shoot this guy. So that's really good for backfield. Infiltrators. So you can deploy on the board that's not within 9 inches of other people, so you can be all over the place, really. And fights first. So remember, the fights first people, they fight in the charge phase. So that's pretty important. Lictors are pretty great. I gotta say, for 55 points, Lictors are pretty great. You're gonna lose them. You're gonna have to throw them away. But if you throw them away in the right place at the right time, like maybe you have a big beefy squad. I'm just throwing something out there. Corn berserkers from the World Eaters that are attacking a Norn emissary. That emissary is gonna be able to wipe them out. My Norn emissary picked up a whole 10-man squad of corn berserkers and chewed them up. But let's just say they have like a master of executions with them. Okay. Point is, you can run the lictor into other melee combats that are already going and increase your odds of success or increase your success to finish that squad sooner, to end that melee combat sooner. So it's a great addition to a melee combat. As well as tying up 5-man squads. He's going to murder a 5-man squad. A 10-man squad, he can probably take a 10-man squad of like Marines, maybe Aspect Warriors, maybe even Orc Boys, Fire Warriors for sure, Guardsmen, great for all that kind of stuff. So when you get faction synapse, that means it can benefit from synapse. Feeder tendrils, each time a model destroys an enemy character model, you gain 1 CP. So keep in mind, because he has precision, odds are he's going to kill a character model, and then you gain 1 CP. You can only gain, I think it is 1 CP a turn. There's like categories of how you gain CP. And this would be your like other category. Pheromone Trail, once per battle round, you can target one model with this ability with the rapid ingress stratagem. This is great for keeping them in, I forget the word, keeping them off the table and not deploying them. Keeping them in reserve is what it's called. um, and then just popping one on the table. Surprise, here it is. It's coming out of nowhere. Um, there's a lot of that with people who do punch for punch, and a lot of the tournament armies keep stuff off the table in reserve and then bring it out to counter punch and stuff like that. So that's a pretty good thing to do. You know, it's a Vanguard Invader. Putting these in Vanguard Invader list is really good in my opinion. I'd probably run 3 just from the perspective of being able to move, advance, and charge. That's a lot of distance with 8. Average advance roll being a 3, which is 11, and then a 2d6 charge, so 7. 18 inches. That's an 18-inch assault right there on average. And you're going to roll better, but sometimes you're going to roll worse. um, doing everything with Invasion Storm, which is what I usually do. I would probably. I might throw a rapid regen on these guys. um, Maybe. But another thing that would be good is the swarming instincts. So with 6 attacks, you're going to get 5s, which will create extra hits. And then you could use the stratagem to make things proc on a 5 or a 6. So 5 or 6s, you get extra hits. So that's a thing to think about. I think lictors are great. They're what I'm going to use to screen the backfield. They're what I'm going to use to do some counterpunch. They're what I'm going to use to cause chaos and shenanigans in the backfield of an opponent's table. And that's what they're made in the lore. That's what they're made to do. I do think that most people underestimate them in melee combat. And, they're not taking out an Angron. They're probably not even taking out a Karn the Betrayer. I don't know why I'm picking on World Eaters so bad. But they're going to get in and do some damage. They could finish off a squad that's already chewed up a bit, for sure. I like them, and my tournament list has 2 in there. So we here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you can spend your time anywhere on the internet. Want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.